negative context. For example, to talk about someone who's self-centered, we often call them egotistical. Even here in our channel, we've delved into the darker side of your ego. But today we're here to remind you that having an ego isn't bad. What makes it negative is the way it develops. Today we'll talk about what a healthy ego is and how to develop one. Let's take a look at when the term ego was introduced to psychology and its impact. According to Sigmund Freud, considered by some to be the founder of psychoanalysis, our personality consists of the id, ego, and superego. Each represents different parts. The id represents your passions, the superego is your moral conscience, and the ego, the mediator between the two. The ego's job is to protect us from acting on our basic instincts and to achieve a balance between our ideals and the real world. The ego is your sense of self, the essence of who you are. You're neither your passions nor your ideals, but the one who uses both to forge a path. Freud's theories provide a framework for understanding the ego and its relationship to conditions such as anxiety and distress. Freud purported that the ego uses defense mechanisms to cope with anxiety caused by stressful internal or external factors. Interestingly, the ego is not aware of these defense mechanisms during the moment, but only when it has passed. Hence, there is a possible association between psychiatric illnesses and these processes. These processes are what help develop a mature ego. What does it mean to have a mature ego and how to develop it? Our ego and its development are sometimes affected by external factors. External stressors such as societal demands, perceptions, and the need to conform affect how your ego develops. If under too much pressure, the ego can become unhealthy, arrogant, or insecure. We know what an unhealthy ego looks like, but what about a healthy one? A healthy ego is resilient. Its resilience is often referred to as ego strength, a marker of your ability to adapt and overcome stresses, conflicts, and challenges. A strong, healthy ego is necessary to sustain relationships and adapt to new challenges. To develop a healthy ego, you first need to assess your current ego and the benefits of improving it. This involves recognizing your personal worth. Next, you need to compare how you view yourself with how others in your immediate circle perceive you. This is not meant to make you feel bad or good about yourself, nor is it to draw comparisons between you and others. Asking people in your immediate circle how you show up for them in their lives helps you identify what you're projecting out into the world. For example, you might not see yourself as arrogant, but others might perceive some arrogance from you. Remember, only ask people who truly know you, people you truly trust and who can give you honest feedback. Self-esteem and self-worth are two terms that are often used interchangeably. However, they mean different things. Self-esteem derives from your self-worth. If you value yourself, you think highly of your abilities. Understanding the difference between these two terms is helpful on the journey of developing a mature ego, because your ego is related to your self-esteem. If you struggle with low self-esteem, you may have a wounded ego, incapable of recognizing the value of your capabilities and accomplishments. If you struggle with self-esteem, start by identifying the source. What caused you to develop a low self-esteem? You can do this work alone or with a therapist. Next, make a list of your strengths and weaknesses. This will challenge your personal negative perceptions and paint a clear picture of who you are. Once you have a clear picture of who you are, accept yourself. Part of the internal conflict that exists is that your superego has high ideals. Our id is too forceful in its passions, and your ego feels lost trying to mediate all the demands. Developing a healthy ego is an ongoing process that requires patience and dedication. Through self-reflection, journaling, and working with a therapist and various other techniques, you can develop a healthier ego. A healthy ego is essential for confronting any problem that can arise, and will not only help you confront your problems, but also improve your overall emotional state and your life.